So here we go with my magic floating microphone. Last week I argued that space might force humanity into cooperation. One viewer pushed back hard, and her question exposed a gap I should have addressed in the original video. Because if we don't get this right, the future I described doesn't become a frontier, it becomes the worst company down in human history. Hi, I'm Scott Knoll of Dreamforge. Let's engage. On the last Fantastic Futures, I made the case that space changes the math of cooperation. That when everyone shares the same hull and the same air, working together becomes practical, not sentimental. Candace dropped a comment that I think every futurist should read. She wrote, and I'm quoting, "There will always be people who want control. Control of resources, control of others. Yes, we need to cooperate to survive in space, but those who control the resources, water, air, and energy will have the power." And Candace, that's the right pushback. And that's the part of the argument that I left out. There's an axiom worth keeping in your pocket. He who controls the airlock makes the rules. I argued that shared life support forces cooperation. Candace is pointing out the dark mirror of that argument. Shared life support also creates shared hostage taking. Same hull means whoever controls the hull controls everyone inside it. And that isn't paranoia, that's leverage. And in space, leverage runs through pipes and wires you cannot live without for more than a few minutes. So, the honest answer is this: space does not become cooperative automatically. It becomes cooperative only if no single actor, no company, no government, no oligarch can monopolize survival. That is a design problem, not a hope problem. So how do you build hope in? 5 things matter. 1, redundancy. No habitat should have one source of oxygen, one source of power, one place to dock, one ride home. Single points of failure aren't just unsafe, they are leverage. They are how a town becomes a medieval fiefdom. 2, open standards. Airlocks, docking ports, suits, rescue craft, these have to work across operators. The Artemis Accords already point in this direction. They need teeth. 3, survival infrastructure as a commons. Air, water, radiation shelters, emergency medicine. These are not luxury goods. They are public utilities. And we should write them into law that way before the first 10,000 people are living off-world. 4, exit rights. A Mars worker who cannot afford the trip home is not free. Real freedom means a free return ticket, guaranteed, non-negotiable. 5, the leverage of skilled labor. In space, the welder, the medic, the farmer, the programmer, these aren't disposable workers. They are the civilization. Their walkout isn't a strike, it's an extinction event for the colony. And hopefully all that changes the math of who has power in ways the Earth has spent 2 centuries trying to forget. And here's the part that may be quietly hopeful, and the reason I don't think Candace's question kills the argument, but may sharpen it. On Earth, power hides. It dresses up as property, as borders, as tradition, as the way things have always been. You can grow up inside a hierarchy and never see the walls. In space, the walls are obvious. Power becomes brutally literal. Who controls the air? Who controls the water? Who controls the ride home? You cannot dress those questions up as anything else. You can't pretend they're about culture or heritage or freedom of contract. They are about a valve, a tank, and a ship. Space might not save us from hierarchy, but it might make hierarchy impossible to hide. And once a thing is visible, it can be addressed. A cooperative frontier doesn't start with idealism. It starts with one rule. The answer to who controls the air must never be one person, one company, or one government. That's the work ahead. That's what we have to build into the foundation now, while it's all still in blueprints. And to Candace, thank you, genuinely. That was exactly the kind of question that makes the next video better than the last one. I'm Scott Knoll. Thanks for engaging, and I'll see you out there.